Honestly, the way that I've never wanted to commit arson more than I do right now, it's the way that I am filming. I'm in the process of literally about to do my intro for my podcast, and my ring light decides to just fall and break. If you guys were to see the setup, it is super duper humbling. I want to crash out, but I feel like because the more effort that I'm putting into this episode, you guys will appreciate the message behind it. So please appreciate the message behind this episode. What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rehinged Diaries podcast with your host, Ali Karza. So, today's episode is going to be about how I manifested my beauty and my glow up. I feel like this is going to be an episode that a lot of people are not going to expect how this conversation is going to go because it's very basic how people go around this topic where they're like, I watched a lot of videos, I watched a lot of tutorials, and now I just know how to look good. And that's fine. But it's like, you ever met somebody that is so beautiful and they don't even know it? They don't have that confidence. It's like they have this extreme imposter syndrome. Whereas imagine a person that not only grew up physically, but you could tell internally there was a huge shift. That's what we're going for today. And I'm going to tell you guys how I did all that. I'm 25 years old and it's been a journey. It's been a journey. So, with all that being said, I have to start from the beginning. And for those who kept up with the Pretty Privileged series, you would know how a lot of the details I'm going to be sharing right now. But for those who haven't watched those episodes, I grew up being the ugly duckling. You know, there's the ugly duckling in the family. And believe it or not, I feel like, especially the generation that we're coming to now, a lot of people are realizing the ugly duckling, girl, the ugly duckling is the underdog. They're usually the underdog. Look at Bella Hadid. Look at Kylie Jenner. There's so many people out there that were just deemed the ugly duckling. And then before you know it, they glow up to this beautiful icon. Even Marilyn Monroe herself, like, not that she was ever ugly, but like, you know, when someone hasn't done that shift yet, and when they do that shift, they become like mesmerizing. I was the ugly duckling growing up. And especially being in the Hispanic community, where are my Hispanics at? That's all I gotta say, and you already know what I'm talking about. I don't even gotta elaborate, but I was in, an Hispanic upbringing, and a lot of my family members, imagine being so young, you're literally just a sponge, you're exploring the world. Everyone is basically telling you that you don't possess any value because of your appearance. And it's really weird because growing up, I was naturally very confident. Like, my dad told me at a very young age, you have a confidence that a lot of people pray for, a lot of people buy, like, to get taught this type of confidence, and you were naturally born with it. Hold on to it for the rest of your life. And that's a thing that I will always stand by. So I was a naturally confident person, but imagine growing up and having everyone tell you that you don't possess any value because you don't fit to the beauty standards. I grew up being very awkward because of that. Because I felt like an extreme imposter syndrome. I'm like, well, if everyone is telling me that I'm ugly as fuck, well, damn. I'm like, well, damn. I guess I missed the memo somehow. I thought I was that girl. I thought I was slaying in my goodwill fit. Like, I really swore I was that girl regardless of my circumstances. We'll get to that. It made me very awkward because I didn't know how to identify as myself because everyone's telling me who I am. Like, you being so young, you don't even know who you are, and everyone's just telling you you're ugly and that you're just not worthy. Imagine what that does to your confidence. So I grew up just being very awkward, and I really am a big believer that how you're feeling on the inside will obviously show on the outside. So, of course, I became very awkward. I gained a lot of weight, so I was just very, like, awkwardly proportioned. I had horrible acne. I had messed up teeth, so I had to get braces. My hair was frizzy and hideous. I got fugglier. Like, I got fugglier. It really got to a point where I would walk into a room with my family members and they would not even acknowledge me. Like, I would have a conversation and I felt like, you ever walk into a room and you just know people don't like you, and then when you try to contribute to a conversation, everyone's just like, Yeah, like they're already just like, okay, who invited you? It really gave off that vibe my entire upbringing. And it was just like so devastating, like the rejection that I was experiencing to the fullest capacity. Y'all are my family. Y'all are supposed to accept me. And it's the way that I just was like, oh my goodness, like it's crazy. So what does that do? It further creates these negative beliefs that I started building within myself, where I'm like, well, I guess I'm not good enough. I guess I'm not good enough. I guess I will never be worthy until my appearance something changes. So what did I start doing? I'm like, okay, well, my acne is really getting on my nerves. So because my acne is getting on my nerves, let me try to figure out how to solve all that. I started doing extensive research because I went to so many dermatologists. I went to, like, I tried every product you can possibly think of, drugstore, high end. Nothing was working until I finally mastered my skincare routine, which if you guys want an episode on that, then let me know in the comment section down below. Trust me, I know a thing or two when it comes to skincare because of all that I experienced. So my skin started doing better. And that's when I really started exploring makeup. And that's where I found my passion when it comes to makeup, because it was almost like when I put on makeup, I didn't need validation from anyone from the outside. It was like the moment I put on makeup, I just felt like a version of myself it was like you're unleashing a new character. It was very much giving that. So I'm like, oh my goodness, like I just loved it. I love wearing makeup because of what it did for me in the inside. And because of what it started doing for me in the inside, it just started reflecting on the outside. So before you know it, I am like really experimenting with makeup and I'm really getting good at it. Before you know it, oh my God, Alabi, how are you? Like, for the longest time, I couldn't pinpoint where all this was stemming from, because I'm like, all I did was just learn how to do makeup. And I've just learned how to present myself in a different manner. But that's the thing. For a really long time, I really connected my appearance and me really taking care of myself with confidence. And it's just not is not the case, because like I said, you could watch a couple of tutorials and learn how to glow up physically, like all these gurus that are like, oh my God, watch my video, I'm gonna show you how to glow up. You can glow up physically, but internally, girl, that's where the magic happens. It really does, because that's when I went through this really crazy breakup during my time in high school, where I was on and off with this guy. It was a situationship, which is really devastating, because for a long time I was under the impression that it was an actual relationship. He was like a textbook narcissist, and I don't like throwing that word around because a lot of people be like, oh my God, he cheated, he's a narcissist. No, he was an actual narcissist. Like, he got off on my misery. And just from that sentence alone, or anyone who's experienced being with a narcissist, you should already know what that does to your confidence, what that does to your mental state. It's just a lot. It really did just become a lot for me. And like I said, from the outside looking in, I look like I was confident. I looked like I, just radiated this beautiful energy, when in actuality, it's just all I did was just learn how to fix up my appearance. But the best thing that ever come out of that breakup is the fact that I'm a Cancer. I'm a water sign. And sometimes that bites me in the ass, but there's also times where it really serves me well. Like, being an overthinker will serve you well if you use it as your superpower. My ex was just a chronic cheat. Like, he was a serial cheater. Like, you could literally just like be homeless, like literally look insane, and he probably would holla at you. Like, it was that type of thing. So imagine already having like the deep insecurities you had at core, and then having this person like bringing that out of you. It's like, oh my gosh. Because of that, it's like, imagine all these beautiful women. Like, there's these women with amazing bodies, like they were just nothing from what I look like, and my confidence did not radiate anything to that capacity. So I was just like, oh my God, what is it about me that made him not want to commit to me, that made it like he wanted to cheat on me? Like, why wasn't I good enough for faithfulness, like, just to be committed to? For a long time, I would look at it as, why me? Why me? I was so insecure until I used my overthinking to my benefit, where I was like, okay, Well, these girls that are all aesthetically beautiful. And, they're just like, they're not what I felt like I could ever possess, which is crazy. I was like, I never could be that beautiful. I could never be that confident. But I'm funny. And there was a lot of people that were popular growing up that wanted to be me. Like, I had, like, qualities in me that are worthy. And I held on to just one, which is being funny. I'm like, that's all I got right now. I didn't realize all the other qualities that I started unlocking. But anyone who started from the bottom, like, you don't have a lick of confidence. And I've been there. I've been there. I didn't have a lick of confidence. But I held on to that one thing. I'm like, I'm clearly really fun to talk to. People love talking to me. I'm a conversationalist. I'm a good conversationalist where I make people feel seen. I love just interacting with people and getting to know them and make them feel seen. I'm holding on to just that. And when I held on to that, I started taking more note of things that people really appreciated out of me. Like, you ever look at someone and you're like, oh my God, I love my best friend. I love that she is like a social butterfly. Like, you start noticing beautiful qualities that people possess in your everyday life. And I started doing that. And then I started doing that to myself. Okay, if I can find all these qualities from someone else, I wonder what qualities people think that I have. And before you know it, I started really realizing, I'm like, well, damn, I am beautiful. I'm funny. I am worthy to be committed to. I just love the loser. Like, that's really what it comes down to. And that was the start of everything. That was the start of me radiating confidence, where I'm like, first of all, I might not look like her. I might not look like she. My body it may not look like that woman that's so beautiful. I'm not going to talk down on her and be like, oh my God, I'm better than her. We're not doing that here. I don't promote that on this podcast. But what I do promote is holding yourself to a higher standard and be like, yeah, those women are beautiful, but there's not another me. You can't replicate me anywhere. I am me. And that's good enough within itself. And the moment I developed that mindset, I was like, oh, baby. It's like my confidence started just pouring out, but it was just all from within from the beginning. Like, I didn't even have the full glow up that I started really having. Because believe it or not, my appearance, it really started skyrocketing, and I really started thriving. I started going to the gym, but it all started because of like all the inner beliefs that I had to change. Because that's what it always comes down to. Whatever happened in your childhood, whatever you experienced that helped you create such negative beliefs within yourself, you're going to have to revise all those things. Like, all the women in my family that were always talking down on me and telling me that I'm not good enough, I had to sit there and revise that and be like, first of all, they don't even like themselves. So you really got to sit there, start revising all these negative beliefs and all the stories that stemmed from those negative beliefs of me being like, well, damn, like, I really thought that I wasn't shit. But it's really just people projecting their insecurities onto me. Because you thought I wasn't society's version of beautiful, but now that I am, what are you? That one. Like, thank you, honestly, for humbling me my entire upbringing, because now I get to be a force that's to be reckoned with. And it's just so, like, insane. And that's really when I started manifesting being a better version of myself. But it all started with me, one, just closing my eyes and visualizing who I wanted to be. I was like, okay, I don't want to be a girl that walks into a room and looks down. Looks down. I am overthinking how people are perceiving me. Oh my God, what do people think that my arms, like, where do I place them? When I walk into a room, what do people think that I'm walking funny? Oh my God. And then, like, I didn't want that. So what did I do? I closed my eyes and I started visualizing who I wanted to be. I wanted to be a woman that when I walked into a room, people turned their heads and they're like, whoa, who is she? Who is she? And then what happens when you do that? The whole point of manifestation. The moment that you even set an intention, like, I don't want to be an awkward girl when I walk into a room. What do? You close your eyes and visualize who you want to be. Second, when you open your eyes, start thinking about, okay, I'm going to, like, get into the persona of the woman that I want to be and act like I'm already her. So if I'm acting like I'm already her, what actions do I need to take to correlate with what I want? Okay, so if I walk into a room, let's start off small. Let me not worry about what people are thinking about where my hand placement is and just be freely. just understand that that's actually normal, that a lot of people walk into a room, and it's rare that when someone walks into a room that they have that confidence. A lot of people are overthinking too. You can also find your community and realize, wow, I'm not the only one thinking this. Like, a lot of people walk into a room and they get anxious. Even a lot of confident people out there have those issues. So with that knowledge, what can you do with that? Let me be that like 1%. Like, let me be that person that walks you into a room, and I don't care if where my hand placement is at and overthinking that, or if people think that I walk weird, or people think that my outfit isn't like whatever. Let me just walk into a room and just act like, you ever watch a movie and there's like the main character, she walks you into a room and you're like, she's so captivating, she's so fearless, she doesn't care. Just mimic her. Truly. I was really weird when I first started that mindset where I was like, okay, I love Hannah Montana. I love that she walked into a crowd, had a wig on, and she, she could have sat there and be like, oh my God, I'm anxious. What do people think that I'm Miley? She could have had so many insecurities racing through her head that prevented her from being the best version of herself. But you know what? She sat there and did her thing. So I would really get weird when I would walk into a room. I'm like, okay, let me walk into this room like I'm Hannah Montana. Like, I'm a full-blown celebrity, that instead of me walking into a room and just assuming, oh my God, like, everyone thinks that I'm weird. How about you assume the opposite, which law of assumption plays a role into this whole situation, where I'm just going to assume that I walk into a room that everyone loves me, that everyone thinks that I'm captivating and everyone's staring at me because they're appreciating my beauty. And you can start off really small. Just go to a grocery store, like, go to a room, even if it's like 2 people, girl. So it's not like overwhelming, like a whole big packed like room. It could be something small. It could be like something so small. You go to the smallest corner store, and if the only person there is a cashier, girl, you better walk in there and say, that cashier is looking at me thinking, oh my God, who is this goddess that walked beside me? And before you know it, through repetition, you're going to be like, well, damn, I am that girl. I've literally just became what I wanted to be, which is someone who walked into a room with confidence, who doesn't care what people think. So how I started manifesting my beauty was me being like, okay, I want really good skin. I hated all the and I still deal with acne, and I'm honestly breaking out as we speak. But you know what? It's definitely not what it used to be. But with all that being said, I was like, okay, I want really clear skin. Since I want really clear skin, I'm going to sit there and close my eyes and visualize a version of myself that has clear skin. I started doing that. And then before you know it, I'm like, okay, I got that. Because like I said, I opened my eyes. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my skin and it ain't clear. It ain't clear, but I'm just going to assume that it is, for one. And then 2, if I have clear skin, what habits do I need to develop? Like, what actions do I need to take to replicate having clear skin? I'm like, okay, somebody that got clear skin is going to be having a good skincare routine. Fuck y'all for the people that got clear skin and you don't have a skincare routine. God's favorites. But I'm unfortunately not one of those. So I'm like, okay, if I have clear skin, I have an extensive skincare routine. Is it annoying as fuck sometimes? Absolutely. It is annoying. There's times I'm dead tired and I don't want to do my skincare routine. But I got to do what I got to do. And I do my skincare routine. And then before you know it, that thing that I visualized from the beginning, the intention that I set, I ended up having clear skin. What's next, Allie? Okay, my skin is clear. Now I hate my hair. I don't know what I wanted to do different about it at that time. I'm like, I just hated my hair. Let me try going blonde or something. I went blonde. I went through so many colors through my hair, but then I loved using my hair as a way to express myself. I loved my pink and black. As expensive as it was, I miss my pink hair so much because I had the freedom and I just felt like, oh my God, this really represents who I am. My hair. Before you know it, people are like, that was the most complimented, like that was the quality, the thing on me that I got complimented about the most besides my tattoos was my hair. And to this day, I still get so many compliments about my hair. And it's because I'm like, okay, I hated my hair because it was so frizzy and ugly and flat and it was just not flattering. So I visualized a version of myself that had really good hair and everyone complimenting it. It ended up happening. And then before you know it, body, we still getting there, girl. We're still getting there. But I've come a long way. I am pretty confident in my body. I'm not going to sit there and say like I am like confident like I could walk a runway and not get in my head. Like I will still impersonate being that girl in the moment, but afterwards I might cry or shed a tear or two. But that's all that it really started stemming down from. Was like, okay, me changing all my inner beliefs and then me realizing, okay, let's use manifestation, law of attraction, and law of assumption. My fucking trio, bitch, my trio to really get to what I want. And before you know it, I became the girl of my dreams, which I'm still becoming the girl of my dreams. I'm still trying to manifest Ali 2.0. Like I have a whole vision of who I want her to be. I'm not going to share with y'all because I've been starting to really realize that any manifestations that I have, I got to be careful with sharing it to the universe or to anyone out there listening or watching because there's envious people out there. And I don't want anyone to fuck up that Ali 2.0 that I really have in my head. And I'm so excited for her to unravel in front of you guys. And before you know it, when it happens, I'm going to tell y'all step by step what I have envisioned in my head and how I'm getting there. But Ali 2.0 is like a force to be reckoned with. And she's just like, I'm really excited to meet her, and I'm really excited for you guys to meet her. But she's unraveling as we speak, and I'm really, really excited. Just for anyone out there who, like I said, your confidence is to the floor. I've been there, done that. You are worthy where you're currently at right now. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care how you look like. You are worthy at the present time of you watching this or listening to this. So if anyone out there is trying to convince you that you're not, I want you to do everything like I said from the beginning of this episode to the end, where you envision a higher version of yourself, a beautiful version of yourself, and make it as delusional as possible. Like I said, I'll insert pictures from how I used to look like. If you had told that girl that she would be who she is today, I would have laughed in your face. Like my tattoos is a thing that I get complimented about the most. And I love when people are like, your tattoos just make you look confident. Why? Because it's so authentic to who I am. And I know it's not normal. A lot of people even try to say, ruin to your appearance. You could be more elegant with the tattoos. But you know what? I don't care. I love them because they make me feel so me. And that's attractive authenticity. That is so like the highest version of confidence is authenticity and you just being true to who you are and loving every inch of it. So, like I said, anyone out there listening or watching, you will be there. You will be the 1.0, 2.0. Because like I said, what you're seeing now is Ali 1.0. Ali 2.0, she's unraveling as we speak. And I cannot wait until I'm like, damn, every little bullet point in my head of what I want Ali 2.0 to be. We made it, bitch. We made it. And I know you guys can make it too. So I love you guys so much. I think that's going to wrap up everything for today's episode. I wanted to make it quick and really just talk to you guys how I manifested my appearance and just my glow up, honestly. But really getting back into manifesting. I feel like in the beginning of this year, I started off so good when it came to manifesting until so many things just started happening. And like I said, confident people, the most confident people that have ever lived, experience moments where their confidence is tested. And I've had so many moments in my life where my confidence was tested. And I feel like in the beginning of this year, I was my most confident. Like, I was my most confident. I was attracting things left and right. Like, I remember 2 months into the year, half of my vision board was already, like, done. And then literally the rest of the year, I'm like, well, why is nothing coming? Like, nothing's happening. Like, I was thriving in the beginning of the year. And it's because my confidence started getting tested. And I went through a lot of trials and tribulations. But here we are now. And I feel like I'm finally, weird way to put this. Like, it's weird because it was like the first 2 months. And what? It's like, it's the last 2 months of the year. And I feel like I'm finally back to where I started, but in a good way, like in a better way, because I experienced so much and learned so much, where now I'm like, oh, we're gonna go back into this manifesting thing, but like with all the knowledge that I have from all the things I experienced this year, it's like, baby, I'm about to be a force to be reckoned with. Like 2025 2024, I accomplished a lot, but 2025, bitch, because I'm 25 years old and I'm like, listen, I wasted my early 20s doing a lot of dumb shit and not not reaching my full potential, but I had to go through what I went through to be where I'm at now. And I'm like, the remaining of my 20s, bitch, watch out. But yeah, that is everything. I love you guys so much. If you're watching this on the YouTube podcast channel, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, and share your experience on you manifesting your glow up, or anything that you manifested that actually came to light, or anyone out there who's experienced having their confidence being tested or having it so low and them being so confident. Share your stories in the comment section down below. I read every single one and I appreciate every single person that comments. I literally love you so much. Even if you tell me to go die, I appreciate every single comment. If you are listening to this on Spotify, make sure to give it a 5 stars rating. We got to keep these lights on. And clearly the light that I had, that's like blinding me, because like I said, if you saw the setup, you would be astonished. Like, it's really, really super humbling. And it's blinding me, and I'm going to be blind by the end of this episode. But make sure to give it a 5 stars rating if you enjoy my podcast, or if you even just enjoyed this episode and you learned something from it. It really just helps me realize what episodes I can really create for you guys. There's so much I want to do on confidence, or just really empowering women or anyone out there that comes across my content. But I love you guys so much, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next podcast episode. Bye-bye.